Hello, this is Matt from Kintripper Motorhome Hire. Today we're going to go through the virtual handover of our Giottiline T34 motorhome. So initially we're going to go around the outside of the van and go through all the operations of this. What we're going to do is start at our electric step. All we need to do is get this step down is just press down on the button. The step comes down. To put it back in again, you press up, you just need to give it a little tap like so, and the step goes in. Here we have the set toilet. So obviously when you go toilet inside, everything drops into a container underneath there. So what we do is we turn the key, this pops out, turn it clockwise, that opens. You then have a little green flip button under here, lift that up, pull the set toilet out, and then you can go to the chemical disposal point and empty it. What I normally do is empty it full out. We then put about a third of water in, give it a good shake and empty out again. We supply chemicals to go in the toilet, which I'll show you in a minute. You literally drop one sachet into the toilet every time you empty it. And then to just pop it back in again, just push it in until that green thing clicks in place. To close it, turn the key, push that button in, turn the key, and it's locked. Over here we have our gas barbecue point. So this is an extra that we supply with the motorhome. Literally plug the gas barbecue into there, pop it on your table, and off you go. Right, this motorhome has a pretty large garage to put all your stuff in there. We supply a lot of things for this motorhome. Inside here we have a large picnic table for outside. We have 4 chairs as it's 4 berth. We also have the electric hookup lead. We have the hose to fill up the water. And also on the other side, we have leveling blocks. So if your pitch is slightly unlevel, you can level it up with the leveling blocks. We have a washing line, which is on a tripod to dry all your clothes. We have umbrella in there. And we also have a bit of AdBlue. Right, here we have the wind out awning. What we do, you have a little hook there. We stick that into that little bit there. What we do is unwind the awning. To a point like that. What we have is 2 legs in here. We take one leg down, open that up and drop this leg down to the floor. We then bring the other leg out. Do exactly the same. Drop that leg to the floor like so. And then what we will do is we'll lift the awning up slightly. Then what we will do is we will unwind the awning out a little bit further. We'll then move each leg out with it. This saves putting too much pressure on the bar that's going across the motorhome. We then continue to go out again, forward fully. We can then put them in their place. And then what we have 2 pegs that can be pegged down through the awning leg. So if you get a little bit of wind, it will hold it in the grass. To pack it up again, we will obviously wind it back in the opposite way. A little bit at a time. Bring the legs back. So about a point like that. We can then obviously undo these little leg adjusters again. Drop the legs in. And then pop the legs back in like this. There's a little catch here that you just need to make sure they're pushed in properly like that. This is the clip for the leg to clip in. This obviously is important to get in before you wind it back up, else it won't wind in properly. You just literally pop it in there and clip it down like that. And then we just wind the awning all the way back in, like so. And then take the bar out. Right, on the back of motorhome here, we have a bike rack. This bike rack can carry 2 bikes. So you literally just pull it down, your wheels go through the straps, strap them up, and that's good. And then obviously when you take them off, just pop that back up, and that's the job done. We've also got a split reversing camera on this one. So this does long distance as you're reversing, and you can press the button on the reversing camera to do the tight distance. So if you're sort of reversing back to the wall, you see it in the further camera first. As you get tighter, flick across to the other camera, and then you can see the distance really close up. So we're now in the other side of the garage. As we're talking about, here are the levelling blocks. So if your pitch is slightly unlevel, you can pop them in. There's your AdBlue. So you've got a little dash on, obviously on the dashboard, it will come up AdBlue. You literally pop the nozzle onto the bottle, and I'll show you where you put that in a minute. We also, like I say, we've got the washing line. We have an umbrella for you. We also have the windy bit for the awning. So if you want to drop the awning, that's all in here. And we also have, this winds the bed up and down. So if you need a bit more space in the garage, you see this little cream bed here. This bed actually winds all the way up. So if you needed some extra space, you can do that. But I'll run through that with you in a minute. And then just to close the door, just close it, pop the bigger key in, and just lock it. So when you first pull up on the site, you probably want to stick your electric hookup lead on first. Obviously we've got this from the garage. What we need to do is the flippy end goes onto the motorhome itself. So we literally lift the cap, lift this little bit out, lift the flap up on the electric lead, and push the electric lead all the way in. So the flip literally goes over this little bit here. You then run the rest of the lead off, and the other side goes into the campsite. Once that's all plugged in, you can go inside on the main display board, and it should have a little electric lead on the display board to say that you're connected up. If this is electric lead on the display board is not obviously there, then you need to look at the fuses on the campsite end and the fuses within the vehicle to see if they're all correct, and also checking that you have located these in correctly. To take it off, you just wind it all back up again, undo the little flip there, and then pull it, and then just wrap it back up and pop it back into the garage. One thing you need to do is uncoil the whole thing, because this does get very hot and it can potentially catch on fire. So what you want to do is uncoil the whole thing. You might have to go backwards and forwards a few times to achieve that. Right, here we have our freshwater tank filler point. To open this, you need the big key, like so. You need to turn that clockwise to open. We always fill this for you full before you go out, but when obviously you're empty, you need to obviously fill this back up. You undo this, connect your hose to the tap, pop your hose pipe in there, fill it until you see water come out the end. Once that's full, pack your hose pipe up again, close this off, and turn the key anti-clockwise to close. We also have our drainage tank. So all the water that goes down your basins in your shower eventually fills up a tank underneath. There is a gauge inside that tells you when this is full, and also the freshwater tanks and the waste tanks are generally the same size. So when the fresh water's out, you generally have to empty your wastewater tank. All caravan and motorhome sites tend to have service points. You need to find the drain. You then get hold of this lever, pull it towards you, let all the water out. Once the water's all gone, just push the lever back in again. Right, here we have the gas locker. This has got two sorts of systems in it, which is different to our other motorhomes. This has the refillable gas bottle, where you can refill it at gas stations. You also got a normal gas bottle as well. To open this, you need to turn the key anti-clockwise. This button then comes out. You need to turn that anti-clockwise as well, open up, and there you have your 2 gas bottles. So what we have is we have the standard gas bottle here, and we have the refillable gas bottle there. So depending on which one you want to use, you need to open it. So if you're using the refillable system, you turn this yellow knob anti-clockwise to turn it on. You also got a little yellow lever here. You need to make sure that's in the inline position before you start testing all the gas stuff inside. What I normally do is go to the gas hob, test you've got gas there, and then you're okay to go everywhere else. If you don't want to use the refillable system, we have this normal bottle at the front. So make sure the refillable system's off. You can then turn this one anti-clockwise and use this tank instead. The difference really being on this is the refillable system is 100% needs to be used in the EU because you can't get these cylinders in the EU. So if you are taking this abroad, then you would only be using the yellow bottle. UK, you can use this bottle. So to get this one going, you then turn this one anti-clockwise as well. And again, go into the gas hob, check you've got gas coming to there, and then you can use all your other appliances. Before you drive away, you need to make sure the gas is fully off. So you need to turn clockwise, either on that bottle or the bottle behind. Once that's all off, you can then close the door. You generally turn it to that point, so it's closed. Lock it like so, push the button in. The refillable system here, you refill at the garage. It's on a petrol pump type of thing. It will have a guide on how to fill this up at the petrol pump. So you literally take it off, follow the guide on the petrol pump to fill the system in. When you are filling that, you need to make sure that the gas bottle inside is in the open position as well. So if you're at the petrol station, you want to make sure this yellow knob on the yellow tank is fully open, which is anti-clockwise. And then once you fill the system from the pump, just make sure you turn everything off again before you drive away. So one thing I want to point out in this door is if you get a puncture on these vans, they don't have spare wheels these days. They tend to have what they call like a repair kit. This would be good enough to get the tyre up and running so you can get yourself to a tyre repair place and have that changed. Obviously, if you have a complete blowout, you would need to ring our breakdown recovery number and get breakdown out to help you out. Right, so whenever you get to a campsite or whether you're stopping anywhere and you just want some power in the motorhome, we've got the display panel here. You just need to put your finger on it. At the moment, you've got green. Green is off. So if you want to turn things on, you've got to press each one of these. So the lights is the bottom one, press that, it turns orange. And then what will happen is all our lights will work. You've then got your water pump. That'll then give you water at the taps and be able to flush your toilet. On the top there is your auxiliary. Auxiliary, you need to turn that on to turn your tellies on. And this other one here is your awning light. So if you're going out to the pub at night time and you want a bit of light outside so you can see where you're putting the key, just pop that on and you would have your awning light. Down this side, you've got your temperature. So that tells you the temperature of the cold water in the system at the moment. You've got your 12 volt. It's telling you at 14, at the moment, your 12 volts at 14 volts. We do have solar panels on this, so it always maintain a good voltage. And we also have our water tanks. So at the moment, it's showing that your freshwater tank is at 25% and your wastewater tank is at 0%. And then if you want to turn all this off again, which you do, you must turn these control panels off before you drive again. You just literally press the off button and it turns it off. So now the control panel's all back on again, what we have, we're going to go through the self-syncing satellite. So what you need to do is turn your telly on first. TV remote is in the netting over by the front door. What you do is turn your telly on, To get the self-seeking satellite working, you need to power that up. You can see a selection of lights there. Once this stops flashing, there it goes. I don't know if you can hear that, but you can hear the satellite turning on top. We can then press search. So it's going to scan. What you need to do with your TV though, you need to go into your input and select the satellite function. You can't just be in your DTV or your TV. Also, they both have DVD players on, so to actually function the DVD players, you need to go into your input again and go into DVD player. So once the satellite is self-seeked, it will just pick up the channels, and that will do this TV and the TV in our bedroom. We also got just a self-seeking antenna on this TV as well. It doesn't operate the one in the bedroom, but if you wanted just a normal antenna, you just obviously need to turn your telly on, go into settings, and just tune your telly how you would normally do at home. But me personally, I'll just use the self-seeking satellite system. That'll work both tellies, and you've got a lot more channels with that. Once you finish with it all, just press the power off button. Also with the TV, it is on a bracket, so you don't need to keep it in there tucked away. You can pull it all the way out here and face it to wherever you want. And then just pop it back in before you drive. Just pop it in, out the way again. Here we have our gas cooker. So for that to function, we need to make sure we have the gas on. Lift the lid like so. Turn the knob for the gas. The light automatically comes on, and then we have a lighter in our kitchen cupboard. This one doesn't have a spark generator on it, so you need to get the lighter in the back to spark the flame. Hold the button in once you've established the flame for about 10 seconds, release, and then choose your desired temperature. To turn it off, just put the knob all the way back to the off position and close the oven. Right, here we have the fridge freezer. This is a three-way fridge freezer, so it works on your engine battery when you're driving, it works on gas, and it works on electric hookup. To turn the fridge on, press the on button. You then got it in the A position, which is the position I would keep it in, because that is an automatic position. It will automatically find whatever power source you're using. Here is the temperature of the fridge. At the moment it's on 4. If you want to change the temperature, you can go up to 5, down to 1, and just count through. I normally keep it on 3. Once that's all satisfied, the dash will go down, the display will go down. That's not the fridge going faulty. I think it's just saving battery. That's all ticking over now, and everything's happy. What we do have to open the fridge is a couple of little levers. So you pull this lever, that opens. That's your freezer compartment. Pull that lever, and that's quite a good fridge size compartment. And then if you want to turn it off, just hold the button for a few seconds and off it goes. Right, here we have our heating and hot water controller. Again, this works off either electric or gas. So also if you're wild camping and you need hot water and heating, you would need to turn your gas on. Like I say, come to the hob, check you've got gas coming out your hob, and then you can go into looking at using it on the gas. If you're on electric mains hookup, I'd rather use the electric mains hookup than use the gas, because obviously using the campsites facilities rather than wasting your gas. So what we will need to do again is obviously turn the power unit on. We need to make sure the water pump's running, and then we'll press this button here for about 3 seconds. What I normally do is set the time up on this first. So what we need to do is spin this anti-clockwise or clockwise, whatever way you want to go, and you want to come around to the full clock. Once you come around to the full clock, you need to press that button, and then you can set the time. So say the time is 10 in the morning, we pop 10 on, press the button again, and then set the minutes, like so. Once we've done that, we then need to go and choose what power source we're using. So like I said, you can either use gas or electric. So you turn the button again until you get around to the gas bottle and a couple of little electric symbols. You press that and you decide what you want. So you can have gas, you can either mix the gas and electric together, and on our UK campsites you need to be on electric too. So say we want it on electric, we press electric. If you want it on gas, you need to select the gas indicator. Then one across, if you want hot water, is a little thermostat that's inside the water. We need to come across that, press the button again. At the moment it's off. You can set that at eco, hot, or boost. Obviously the boost is if you want hot water quick. It's not like a combi boiler at home. You still will need to wait until the tank is. So I would normally give it about 20 minutes before you try the hot water on boost. So once you obviously decided which one you want, you just click it, and that's that. Next one over is the heating. So you just go over there like so. You press that, and it's like a room stat when you're heating at home. You set the desired temperature that you want. So if you want it set at 20 degrees, you just press that, and that will maintain the van at 20 degrees. Right, so if you want to set the timer up on this for your hot water and heating to come on in the morning, you need to come around to this clock down in the left hand corner. You need to press the button and then set your start time. Your start time is when the heating and hot water will come on. So if you wanted it on for 8 o'clock in the morning, you select 8 o'clock, press the button, and then you can set your minutes if you want minutes. Press the button, end time. So if you want to finish that at 10 o'clock or 10:15 or whatever, just press that. You then set your room stat on your heating. So this is your desired temperature of the van. So if you set it at 20 degrees, you then need to set your hot water. So whether you want it on eco, hot, or boost. So if we pick hot, click that. You need to select your power source. So whether you're on gas or electric, we need to be on electric too in the UK. Press that, and this is your fan speed. So the fan speed is for how fast the hot heat is coming through, because it's blow air heating. So you can set your fan speed either on a low, which is an eco, or a high. Pick that, and then you just set that to on, and that's your timer all set up. And then just come out with the back button. Right, in the sort of bedroom area, we have the toilet and we have the shower on that side. The shower is a very simple use thing. You just make sure the water pumps on. So you've got water coming out the taps on the shower. You make sure the hot water system is running, so you've got hot water coming from the shower so you can have a shower. We also need to make sure the water pumps on so we can flush the toilet. The only thing you really need to think about with the shower is you need to remove the sort of wooden floor that holds the doors still while you're moving around. You need to remove that so the doors can close. But when you finish and drive down, before you drive down the road, you need to make sure that bit of wood is back in, because the doors will flap around and get broken that way. We'll go through the operation of the flush on the toilet now. Button on the top here. Like I said, we need to make sure the water pump is on. You've got a little lid there. And also for emptying the toilet, we have a lever down here. So what you normally do is do your business. Normally open that, let it all go down through, close it again so you can get the smells back in. And then, normally what I do actually while it's open, you can then press the button, give it a good rinse through, and pop that lever back. This toilet seat does also move direction, so if you need a bit more space. But the only thing is if you want to lift the toilet seat up, it needs to be back in that position anyway. Underneath the basin, we have all your toilet chemicals and where your toilet roll is. So we've got all the kind of green sachets, we've got blue sachets, we've got blue liquids, we've got plenty of toilet chemicals in this one. And that's really the toilet area. Right, in the front cabin here, we have our reversing camera. All you need to do is just lift that up, and every time you put the vehicle into reverse, the camera will come up so you can actually see how you're reversing. You've got a twin reversing camera, so you've got a long distance part of it all, and then what you do is just press the VV2 button, and that will flick between the two cameras. So you get the long distance one and then the close distance one. If you're not using it, you can pop that back down again, so it gives you a bit more view. We've also got the blackout screen for the front windscreen. So the operation of this is literally just pull it up like so, and then just pull it back down when not in use. Both the driver's seat and the passenger seat are both swivel seats. How we operate this is we've got a little arm at the front here that you can move the chair backwards and forwards. What I suggest is pulling the chair fully forwards. You have a little lever here on the side. You just pull the lever, you swivel the chair, and then what you do is you use the back and front lever again and just push the chair all the way back like so. With this in this position, it then makes the bottom bed a lot easier to make up. Right, this is a 4-berth motorhome. We've got the large double island bed at the back, and we have a single bed made up of the dinette area, and we have a single bed with a drop-down bed, which we'll go through in a minute. The easiest way to operate this bed is to make sure your seats are swiveled back around. They're as far forward as possible, and then what we have to do is take a few of these cushions out, because they just get in the way. So take these cushions out, take this cushion out, and what will happen with these cushions is you'll make the bed up with these cushions. So now we've got all that, we just pull the table a little bit towards yourself. There is a little lever here on the front and back which makes it easier to move it. And we've got a push button on the bottom of the table leg. So what you do is you push that button, you put your weight down on the table, you get it to where you need to, and it just clicks into place like that. And then with the cushions here, you turn them the other way around and you make the bed up with the cushions that you have to hand. To put the bed back, remove the cushions again. I would literally get to this side of the bed like so, and all you have to do is put your foot on that button and it automatically comes back up. You've then got this handle here again where you can manoeuvre the table in different directions. Pop that back, and then you can pop the cushions back to make the dinette area up again. Right, we're now going to go through the operation of the drop-down bed. The most important part of this is removing these cushions, because this will make the bed jam up if they're not removed. So these are literally on Velcro. You want to get your fingers between the two bits of Velcro so you don't pull the bit of Velcro off the wood. So if you slide your fingers through the two bits, pop that down there. This middle one just pops up like so, and that one there removes. What I would also do is there's a cushion here that is underneath the cupboard over here. You need to just put that down flat. Once we've done all that, we've got our keys. It's that key you want to use to drop down the bed. So we literally pop it in here. I always get it the wrong way around first time. Right, that is now located in. So we've got a down arrow and an up arrow. So to bring it down, it just goes towards the down arrow and then go as far as you can with it, like so. You then have a ladder on top there which will hook on to these two little parts here, and then you've got access and you've got the anti-roll sides on it as well. You can either leave them up or leave them down. They do actually hook up like so. Once you finish with the bed, it's okay to leave the sheet and the duvet cover on the bed, but I would suggest just taking the pillows off, because again, there's sensors on the bed, and if you don't get the bed fully in the up position, it can get jammed again. So all I'll suggest is make sure your duvet's down nice and flat, take your cushions off and pop them onto the bed at the back, and then we can pop that back up then. And same again, just go fully up. Like so. And then once you finish, you can then put your cushions back on to the Velcro and just slide that centre bit down through there, and then pop your other cushion there back where it belongs. Thanks for watching the virtual handover tour. If you have any questions before your adventure, then please ask.